Hey, what's going on, all my beautiful creeps? Today we are watching a Jubilee video where strangers rank each other's intelligence. And, I know that we all have biases because we're all little shitheads. Well, most of us. I know I'm judgmental as hell half the time. I'm not gonna lie, I'm self aware about it. So let's look into why the IQ test was invented. And it was invented by Alfred Binet, this suave looking gentleman right here. This French guy made it so we could basically see where our strengths and weaknesses are. So in America, like a lot of people see this IQ test as like this elitist thing. That they just see the number and like, oh yeah, I got like a 120 or whatever IQ. But no, the whole point of this test is to show what areas you're lacking in, so you can study up on those areas or fields or whatever. And we have another article over here that says people basically judge you off your looks. People will assume you're more intelligent if you're attractive, but it only goes so far. People will think you have zero personality or you're not intelligent if you're too attractive, because people will just assume everything's handed to you. So let's just hop into this Jubilee video, you guys. Make big.
I wasn't planning to go to college. That wasn't like a goal of mine. My parents were like, well, you should apply to at least one college. And I was like, we'll never get in here. And then I went to Yale. Should we just like go down and do
Intros.
Yeah, I'm Sade. I'm 24. I work in finance. I have a bachelor's degree. I went to Yale.
I'm Tyler. I'm 21. I'm a high school graduate, and I work in the Marine Corps.
I'm Kaylee.
I bet money people are just gonna assume he's dumb just because he was in the military. And also, he's like the least attractive person there, other than like that weird guy. What the hell is he wearing? I'm not sure what that is. Like, it looks like rainbow stuff. Okay, that's cool. Let's go back to video.
I'm 25. I'm a software developer. I went to Ohio University, and I have a bachelor's degree.
Maria, I'm 30 years old. I have my PhD in cancer biology, and I work in a biotech industry. Grad school, I went to University of South Carolina, and undergrad, I went to University of Florida.
Hi everybody, my name is Sean. I'm 27. I'm the director of social media for a company, and I also work for a digital ad agency. I got a double major in dance and cultural anthropology. Undergrad, I went to Loyola Marymount University.
Hi everybody, I'm Ray. I'm 24. I graduated with a bachelor's degree from Harvard recently, and I work in consulting.
Oh, younger babies.
I know,
that's what I was saying, is age a factor?
Yeah, it gives you like years of experience.
Yeah,
in
I
life.
guess,
We need to, maybe it's good to identify what intelligence means to everybody.
I think intelligence is better defined as your adaptability and your problem-solving skills more than it is your education. Obviously, like the education, the stuff you've been through, puts a lot into play in it because it gives you more resources, more thoughts to draw from. A formal education definitely helps, but I don't think it's in any way essential.
So what is the most essential?
So the most essential thing would probably be common sense.
Yeah, so for
I really like his point of view. Common sense makes a lot of sense, because when I think of intelligence, I think of like adaptability, like a problem coming at you and you being able to solve it, like like something like a puzzle. Or what if aliens invaded us? And I think the most intelligent one would win in a sense, because they would be able to perceive what the other one's going to do way before it happens. So let's continue.
For me personally, I think intelligence is both EQ, IQ, and that common sense, street smart intelligence, all of that combined.
people consciously or
I agree with a lot of what she said, other than like the EQ thing. EQ is, it's not measured. You can't measure it. It hasn't really been studied. A journalist came up with it, and it's like emotional intelligence, which is such a strange thing to say, because when I think of like somebody being like, I think of more of like emotional competence compared to emotional like intelligence. like how well you're able to handle things on an emotional level. I don't think that has anything to do with logic.
Unconsciously, when they see someone, form an opinion immediately. Like I'm sure we all did right away.
When I saw you, I told myself, Maria, do not judge him just by his looks. He could be throwing you off, or that's just who he is, but he can talk the talk and walk the walk. Sean, I didn't want to judge him based on the way he looks or dresses or acts, so I was like, I think he's intelligent.
First impressions,
That chick is hilarious. I don't want to judge him based off how he looks, but I'm judging him based off how he looks.
put him at the bottom only because when I was in school, all the other people with like the bright neon colors and stuff, they were typically the ones doing worse in classes. If we were ranking confidence, I'd definitely put Sean at very first place.
So what is the definition?
I like the blonde chick, because she brought up what I wanted to, like what I brought up at the beginning of the video, how people have natural biases. So I think will rank fairly high in this IQ test.
That we're going with is the biggest question.
I like your definition.
I know, I was gonna say, I like my definition. It combines everything.
Does anyone have any like initial?
You can be honest.
Start on that side. I'm done going first.
I feel like I have a good combination of both, like book smart and street smart. So yeah, I think I have some input on that. There's so many aspects to intelligence. It really goes beyond IQ and EQ. Even those two different factors really don't really capture what it really means to be intelligent.
I know I'm not, from Yale, I don't have a PhD, but what I lack in those areas, I'm able to still problem solve and use my own skill set, my emotional intelligence as well as my social intelligence.
Besides my...
People keep bringing up emotional intelligence. That's such a weird thing. Like, why, like... I see this a lot with a lot of, like especially my generation, like millennials and a generation. Wow, I just like choked on air. Like Gen X or whatever, is that they seem to put their emotions in front of like facts, and that's kind of like what a few of these people are doing. Which I find like really odd. I think they're gonna rank low. I think Rainbow Boy is going to rank low, for sure.
Education and background. I feel like I have high emotional intelligence, like I'm aware of my surroundings.
As a software developer, my problem-solving skills are obviously top-notch, I think I would say. My whole life I've kind of had to fight to be seen as intelligent. I think I'm so used to having to do that as a woman, to just step up and be like, I deserve to be here. My first job out of college, I was working at a law firm. A gentleman came up to me and said, "Hi, you don't look like somebody that would work at a law firm. You look like somebody I'd go on spring break with." And I'm like, what?
Obviously, out of everyone here, I've got the least formal education. I consider myself intelligent. My mental dedication and my ability to adapt and to problem solve. What I do in the Marine Corps, I'm a seabird defense specialist. So I think that by virtue of what I do, that already requires some amount of intelligence.
Sorry, quick question. So do you think that only certain people can do your job, or do you think anyone can do your job?
Only certain people. You have to take the ASVAB before you go into the military. That's not really how much you know, but how well you can learn information. And I got a 94 on that. It's not an amount of how much you study, how much you know. You're not gonna really...
Dude, you guys, he got a 94 on the ASVAB. The ASVAB only goes up to 99. He is going to rank fairly high. I don't think he'll be anywhere near the bottom of this list. And look at that, the girl with the red pants. She's so judgmental. I don't know, she has some kind of bias against the military or something.
Get better at learning. Does that make sense?
I strongly disagree with you don't get better at learning. The idea that you can get better at learning is a pretty big signifier of intelligence. I'm very much dyslexic. I have ADHD, and I'm on the autism spectrum. Dyslexia means that there's a big gap in comprehension. So I was scoring 99th percentile in certain areas and 3rd percentile in others. I'll never be able to learn another language. I took Spanish for 12 years, and I can still basically only order a burrito.
So I have a question. Why did you go to Yale, and why did you go to Harvard?
My parents are immigrants from China, and I'm a first-generation immigrant as well and college student as well. My family always really stressed the importance of formal education. For me, that was something that I really strived for.
I wasn't planning to go to college. That wasn't like a goal of mine. My parents were like, well, you should apply to at least one college. And I was like, I'll never get in here. And then I went to Yale.
Why don't you guys rank each other from 1 to 6, including yourself, and give reasons why you want to do what you're doing?
I gotta go 1.
No.
Oh yeah. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I can't believe like they would give. Well, it makes sense. I knew they would rate him low just because he's a military and he's a white guy. You know, patriarchy. But they obviously don't understand the ASVAB. That's basically an IQ test, and he got a 94. He's gonna get high on the IQ test. I guarantee it.
I would rank you as a 6, not meaning that you're not intelligent. I also think that I don't place a lot of value on the military.
Period.
No, full stop.
Oh, what did I say? What did I say? Don't place a lot of value in the military. A lot of people just assume people in the military are stupid. They're not. That's a weird bias people have.
Full stop.
I'd probably do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm sorry.
I'm the villain this episode.
Does anyone think they're like at either end of the spectrum?
I'd say I'm 1, if nothing else, because I know what I'm about and I'm sure of that.
Wait, you guys have to rank everyone too. That is so unfair. No.
I would say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay.
I don't think he's gonna get 1. Like my bias is telling me the Asian guy. Like I'll admit it. You know, he went to Harvard. But I'm not like, oh, goddamn. Now I'm just lumping myself in like how these guys are judging people based off like, I agree with this guy. I don't think formal education is gonna, I think it helps, but I don't think it's gonna boost your IQ like a whole lot, but he's definitely not gonna get 1.
I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Sorry. It's hard for me to look past the education part. Going to college, I think you learn a lot, if nothing else emotionally, but I still think you're smart.
Oh, thank you.
Sorry.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, immigrant parents, first generation going to college, humble, modest. 2, me, I don't know, PhD, cancer biology scientist. I work in a biotech company. We make COVID-19 testing kits, stuff like that.
Wasn't she just like talking about like not judging people, you know, based off stuff like that? And here she is doing it?
And then 6. It has nothing to do with your background. I don't think you really have the highest EQ out of all of us. Tyler, he ranked last for me personally because the way he carries himself. He was ranking intelligence based on his point of view and not taking in other people's point of views and compiling results. But really just came down to his body language, his demeanor, the way he carried himself, the way he acted towards the group.
I would put...
Dudes, she literally just did that. Like, what a hypocrite.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out 6. So the reason why I put you at number 1 is I think you have the highest, not only EQ score out of everybody, but the way you present yourself, as well as being a PhD student, I think is just like a huge thing. And I put myself 6 because I feel like I might be the weakest in terms of actual IQ score. Hopefully I can make it up in everything else. So I did put myself as least intelligent. However, if it can't be me, I definitely think Tyler, unfortunately, his way of thinking is linear. And I think intelligence is almost like a sphere. It's a picture. And right now he's only coloring with one color than, you know, with the rainbow.
So who got...
Oh my god. Like, if he said anything else, it would have surprised me. That is, like, such a generic response based off just of how he looks. You know, like, oh, very colorful. And I really hate that thinking. It's like, he's not thinking, he thought linearly, like, he's thinking linearly. He's not thinking with the spectrum of the rainbow. Yeah, he's thinking logically. Yeah, okay? You're thinking with your emotions. There's a big difference.
Who got the most number ones? Thank you. Look down.
Who got the most?
Sean A was
like
pretty
you.
up there too.
I feel like you were definitely 3, right?
Yeah, I'm between
You were
Harvard and
4.
Yale.
I think that I sort of expected to be ranked a little bit lower. At first glance and first interaction with me, it's hard to tell how intelligent I am. It's hard to tell how intelligent anybody is.
Is anyone upset with where they're standing?
I think it makes sense that I'm down here. Like the guy who graduated from high school and then joined the military, he probably wouldn't be like high up on there. If I was in their shoes, I definitely would have also ranked myself among the lowest.
I do feel like there might be a prejudice acting in terms of ranking you
Okay, I was thinking that
highly.
too.
But I agree with the ranking. I think you probably are the most intelligent out of all of us. I would feel weird placing you there and not acknowledging the dynamics in which we did so.
Yet you still did.
Hearing that I had to take an IQ test was definitely hard to hear. Quantifying things for me in that realm is really hard because it gives you something really solid. Even if you don't buy into IQ tests, it still gives you a number at the end of the day, which is something you have to grapple with.
Wait, she didn't know she was going to take an IQ test? You're ranking each other based off intelligence. Why would they not have you take an IQ test after? That makes so much sense. Like, why would you not?
I literally thought when you said to open the computer or we're going to look at social media, that I didn't think an IQ test would be part of it.
She's going to do low on the IQ test. I guarantee it. If you did not see that coming, you're an idiot.
It was kind of expected. We're being ranked by intelligence, an IQ test. It's not that far out the realm of possibility.
So number 1
That
is
guy
Raymond. Number 2
definitely
would
gonna
be
get higher.
Kaylee. Number 3 will be Tyler. And number 4 would be Shada. Number 5 is Sean, and number 6 is Maria.
Wow, they actually all did really well. Of course, Red Pants Girl, the girl with the PhD, the educated idiot. That's what she is.
I think an IQ test tests something. I don't think it's intelligence. It's definitely testing something.
Of course. The people that did bad are gonna diss the IQ test now. I bet you the Red Pants Girl's gonna knock on it. Everybody that got the bottom 3 is gonna be like, yeah, I don't think it tests intelligence because I'm intelligent and it didn't get me accurately. Oh, butt hurt.
IQ tests are now known to be flawed and based on incorrect sample sizes. I have really severe dyslexia. There's 2 questions on that test that I automatically basically can't answer.
I'm sure if you studied for an IQ test, you would do a lot better. IQ tests are just one aspect or one way to measure intelligence. It's really on a spectrum what constitutes somebody as intelligent.
Before this, all I knew about IQ tests is that they existed, and the I stands for intelligence. I've never looked.
Then the I stands for intelligence. Oh man. Salty, yet funny.
Into IQ tests before. Coming here today, them saying the EQ, that was the first time I've ever heard that term in my life.
Coming back to intelligence.
That's what I was making fun of too, the EQ thing. Oh god, I hate it when people talk about that. Well, I'm really emotionally intelligent. No, that's cool. You're just telling me you think with you when people say that, I'm like, I automatically know that person is sensitive and they're thinking with their emotions, not logic.
It's not just your IQ, it's your EQ, it's your common sense, it's street smarts. Sure, it is some type of metric similar to an SAT and ACT score is a metric for getting into college, but there's more to that person.
Look at her. She is so sad. She's gonna go to sleep crying tonight or whenever this was filmed.
I'm actually excited I wasn't last because I thought I was gonna be last, not gonna lie. I think an IQ test is a good indicator to see how people handle pressure, but I think that's easier to make sense in our heads that, oh, you're smart and you're not smart.
Definitely don't think it's the best metric. I've been exposed to tests like these probably more than most people here. That already gives me an unfair advantage.
This is my villain redemption arc. I'm climbing up the ladder.
Hey you guys, thanks for watching. Remember to hit that like button and subscribe to this channel so we can watch more videos based off other people's biases, and we'll judge their biases with our own biases. Thanks for watching. Remember to leave a comment below because I want to know what you guys thought about their rankings. Because I kind of I ranked their rankings based off of their judgment of each other. Like anyone that talked about like EQ, like I just thought they were gonna do bad because they were putting their emotions into it, and the ones that didn't know that there was gonna be an IQ test, even when there was like laptops and stuff. Like, how did you not see that coming? That blows me away. Of course you would do it. You just ranked each other. Now you're gonna see what it is and see how accurate you were. Anyways, thanks again for watching, you guys. Bye!